Hello, dear viewer, and welcome back to Triangle Strategy with me, Jalen, on it, Lunar Nebula Gaming. We have a character story. Gila apparently realizes she has some surprising similarities with a certain someone. Interesting, interesting. Okay.
Greetings. Were you training outside?
Oh, here I thought maybe they'd bond over Corinton's
Not today.
small liver.
Even I stay away from the proving grounds on occasion. The members of the King's Guard must keep themselves in prime fighting shape. That includes resting when our bodies are weary.
Smart.
A wise policy. The handmaidens of Esfrost adhere to a similar principle. With clear eyes, we see, we serve, we anticipate.
Interesting. Although our tools are different, we're alike in our aims.
Indeed. We must be the pillars our charges turn to in times of need. Even so, we are only human. If I may ask in confidence, do you ever find it trying to serve Prince Roland? Is he ever unreasonable? Have you ever found your patience tested?
No, never. It is an honor to serve, always.
Except for when he sneaks off without you.
It is an odd question to ask. But I must confess I find it hard to imagine what it is like to serve in a society such as Esfrost's.
As do I, although I lived through it. It all feels as if it were so long ago.
You're not one for speaking plain, are you? But I suspect we may have much in common. I'm curious to hear your story, if you are willing to share it.
Of course. I made a promise to myself long ago to effect change through my own deeds, not to live as a mere servant.
And what came of that promise?
Hailing from Hyzant, at first I endeavored to learn at the Ministry, that I might use the knowledge gained there to help others. But they guard their secrets fiercely, and maintain strict control over what fields their students can pursue. As much as it pained me to leave my home, I could not suffer such stifling rules, and so set forth to Esfrost. I took quickly to learning at the archives, where independent study is encouraged. I spent days in the stacks, soaking up as much knowledge as I could, when one day...
Is that where we leave off? Oh, no, okay.
You are the one called Gila, yes?
Yes, my lord.
They tell me you're the most talented researcher the archives have ever seen.
I couldn't say that, my lord. Though I do spend more time here than most anyone else.
Admirable modesty. And you aren't frightened of me. Most impressive. I believe we have a suitable role for you. Come with me. The Archduke would have a word.
The Archduke? But...
No harm will come to you, if that is your fear. Now, follow me.
I imagine that wasn't a perpetual promise. Oh dear.
Lord Svarog had arranged an audience with the former Archduke of Esfrost, who appointed me as Frederica's personal tutor. She was the former Archduke's daughter, so I took my duty seriously. Yet I could never shake the feeling that I had betrayed my ideals. Perhaps I justified it by telling myself that my teachings could plant the seed for change.
An indirect approach, but an active one nonetheless.
Yeah.
The chance was unexpected, to be sure, but I could not very well deny it. The Archduke's successor, Gustadov, was a man that paid no heed to birth or blood. He effected a change in people's attitudes, a change which provided fertile ground in which my teachings could take root. Thus, I stayed by Frederica's side. Truth be told, I had not thought to be with her for this long. And yet, here I am. Life is truly a journey of unforeseen destinations.
That's a good side story. Alright then. Then we have the Citadel of the Sands. Tenebris and Sorsley speak of the latter's sudden summons from the Hierophant. Intrigue.
House Wolford has not a single heroic deed to their name, yet the Hierophant grants them audience.
Okay, we literally just beat the tar out of Avlora. And so on and so forth. Not to mention the Salt Iron War and all that. Okay, okay, fine.
As if they are worthy to stand by my side before the Holy One. What is the meaning of this?
Perhaps there is no need to take offense. Perhaps you are being honored. You did bring a formidable ally into the flock, after all.
Not a bad point.
That is a curious interpretation.
Uh-oh.
The others in the Order are breathless with jealousy at your achievement. They have spoke of naught else since the news arrived.
Which order?
'Twas no great feat. The Wolfords were lost, sniveling, begging for a hand to guide them. The others needn't know that, however.
Soon you will have the ear of the goddess. You will be the envy of Hyzant.
It is well past time for that decrepit Edor to relinquish his position.
The future belongs to House End.
At last. I shall see that you have a place in it, Tenebris.
Probably in the shadows, where no one can see you.
What a gullible fool.
No, okay. That seems to match that laugh very well. That inner monologue. Okay. Stuff is happening. The air within the Hierophant's palace is tense as Serenoa is brought before the Saintly Seven. Oh, at least we get to see Exum again, even if he's about to try to execute us or something. Seems like a cool dude.
I, Sorsley End, have brought Serenoa Wolford to answer the summons of the Holy One.
Very good. Then let us begin forthwith. In the name of the Holy One and the Goddess, I shall begin her inquiry into the misappropriation of our nation's salt.
Can we throw him under the bus now?
An inquiry?
Serenoa Wolford shall be questioned first. Sorsley End stands accused of forsaking the goddess's blessing, of abusing his station to indulge his own insatiable appetites.
Okay.
You, Serenoa Wolford, stand accused of aiding his plot, of sullying your own hands by transporting his ill-begotten wares.
Either that or this is just a power grab by Tenebris, who is clearly right there. Interesting. I mean, I think the game is never going to give you, like, an easy path through things, because without conflict it would just, it would just be boring. But it is interesting that we're like, oh, well, maybe we could have gone the other path, and now we see the consequences of our actions.
I stand accused? On what grounds, Edor?
Minister Sorsley, I would advise you to temper your words in the presence of the Holy One.
You would dare chastise me? For generations, the goddess has entrusted House End with her salt, the lifeblood of our nation.
Which is interesting, because supposedly they didn't even care about nobility and all that, right?
I have treated my duty only with the utmost respect. Just hearing these outrageous charges makes my stomach churn.
That's probably your acid reflex.
Really? Then I shudder to imagine your condition whilst you pen these ledgers, delivered to us by one of the soldiers from the source.
Hey, you.
Huh?
Oh, did this guy have a conscience?
I thought the numbers were quite odd, and when I compared them to the ledger at headquarters, I quickly understood why. Forgive me, Minister Sorsley. Staying silent would have meant my death.
Your
Maybe
death?
not a conscience.
How swiftly your underlings betray you under the slightest pressure.
Now, if you are very well finished, let us continue. Lord Serenoa, Did you aid Sorcerer in these crimes? Answer with the understanding that falsehoods will be treated as affronts to the goddess's mercy and punished accordingly.
Do I have to choose this, or is this?
I understand. It is true. We helped Sorcerer peddle his salt.
Serenoa, you cur!
Oh. Well, that was instant. Ah. I expected a little bit longer of a trial. Couldn't have happened to a better dude, I guess, but wow. Might take some time to clean. Maybe that's why they have tiles all over this room. My goodness. A dangerous
On behalf
place.
of all Hyzant, I thank you for helping us excise this rot from our nation.
Be that as it may, the fact remains you bear some responsibility in allowing that rot to fester. Such misdeeds must be answered for.
You should have come to us immediately upon finding out his true nature. You had ample opportunity.
I admit the fault is ours, but it was not a judgment made lightly.
We had to act to protect our home and our people. It was the only way to prevent the loss of both.
Your plight has not fallen on deaf ears. However, a crime committed under duress is still a crime.
True.
For that, I have no words. Only hope. Hope that you will find mercy for us. For my people, I beg of you, allow our house to enter the protection of the Holy One.
Oh.
You love your subjects deeply, that is plain to see. Very well. I shall state your case to the Holy One on your behalf.
Guess we're siding with Hyzant somehow. Okay.
Serenoa Wolfort, heed well the words of the Holy One. Your house safeguards the very heart of Norzelia, and the Wolfort name is known near and far for its fierceness in upholding its duty. The Holy One believes it would be a great loss if your home were to fall victim to S-Frost's ambition.
I mean, yeah, then they'd be
The
at your
Saintly
door.
Seven has just recently bid farewell to one of its members. His position would be yours if you would take it.
My lord, this...
However, there is the matter of the Roselle that dwell within your borders.
I figured. Okay.
The Holy One would see them returned to the flock where they belong. Their home is in the Source, our Holy Land. They are descendants of criminals and worse. Their lot is to offer themselves to the goddess, so that the sins of their forebears may be cleansed.
More like you want more
The
money.
Holy One would see all Roselle serve her in penitence. Such is her will.
You would have us betray the Roselle under our protection?
Is there a chance this is actually Frederica's mom, though? That's the Holy One somehow pretending or something?
Such mortal judgments are not her concern. The goddess has spoken.
Nope, there are people too. Sorry. You have crossed the line, Hyzant.
Serenoa, will you surrender the Roselle to Hyzant?
I don't know.
As you are doubtless aware, Lady Frederica, the vow of Lord Simon himself binds us to protect them. Alas, our house is not what it once was.
Is that a reason to cast aside its honor? My father, as well, likely had a hand in orchestrating their protection.
A little quieter, Roland.
Ah, my friends, I apologize that we once again meet under dire circumstances. You face a difficult choice, one I do not envy. Have you decided?
Not yet. We will, you can be sure.
They've got us by the small ones, and they know it. They made this request full aware of our history.
Exum, can we trust you?
Lest you misunderstand, allow me to illuminate your position. You are not the noble hawks you think yourselves to be. You are vultures, feeding off the scraps of Sorceley's corpse.
You've got some nerve.
I speak from experience when I say that the title of Saint is not to be worn lightly. Are you prepared?
Prepared? For what?
Doubtless you are aching to break free of your fetters, to take wing and soar. To do that, blood must be spilled. The blood of enemy, friend, and self alike. Your freedom lies at the end of a trail of dead.
Oof.
If you are not prepared to make that journey, to endure that sacrifice, then cast aside your pretensions and grovel.
At least he doesn't mince words.
Grovel or bleed? Poor options, both.
Well, we're already in the city. Just saying. Maybe we can do some stuff. Okay, let's go back up the list, I suppose. Dun 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 dun. Charging into Chapter 10, Part 3.
In his time, Lord Simon protected the Roselle who fled Hyzant, and the village they established within the Wolffort domain. 30 years have passed since then. The Hierophant uses the illegal salt trade incident as leverage to demand those Roselle be sent to the source, where Hyzantian faith dictates they must reside. After being found guilty at the trial, Serenoa has no other choice but to acquiesce. Thus, with House End ruined and a vacant position among the Saintly Seven to be filled, rumors of House Wolffort's ascendancy start sounding more credible than ever to the people of Hyzant.
Oppressions Under the Sun, Chapter 11, Part 1. Okay. So, do I get a choice? Because it sure seems like we don't get a choice.
Lord Serenoa, I believe it may be in our best interests to turn over the Roselle after all.
But they fought so hard to escape Hyzant. They would never agree to return.
It would be a show of good faith to the Saintly Seven and secure House Wolffort's safety. If the situation calls for force...
I don't think anybody would ever be our allies again. Let's put it that way.
Well, we must be prepared, to borrow Minister Exham's words.
I see. Give me time to think over the matter. Where is Frederica?
Oh, she left for the source with Prince Roland. She said she wanted to see where the Roselle lived for herself.
Fair.
Ah, indeed. Byzantine law requires all Roselle to make their home at the source.
She is most troubled over this, Lord Serenoa. Please, if you could...
I understand. I will make for the source at once.
Let's just say, I think I'd even choose Gustadolf over Hyzant at this point. Which is saying something. Because at least he doesn't hurt the common people, man. Anyway, Whiteholm Castle. From the throne room of Whiteholm Castle, Gustadolf begins the next stage of his plan. I mean, Serenoa would probably end up on the chopping block, but that's what we gotta do, man.
Thalus, thank you for making the necessary arrangements.
It's a good point, though. I don't trust this man at all. Or his sister.
No need to thank me. I am your Prime Minister, after all. I have made sure those with any power in Glenbrook understand their place. They will do as we command.
Then everything is in place. It is time.
Is there nothing I might do to aid you, brother?
If there were, I would tell you. And the consortium, Thalus?
Oh, I expect we shan't have any trouble from them. I have promised them a considerable sum to stay out of our way.
You know what? At least she was trying to be helpful. I'll give her that.
Good. Now it is just a waiting game. I wonder how long the Hyzantians will last.
The most difficult game of all, the waiting game. But an important one to learn nonetheless. Okay, Crown City. A dancer approaches a certain man in Glenbrook with an intriguing offer. A dancer? Piccoletta? Can't be, right? Oh, it's Tellior.
Silvio Tellior, I presume?
Is she Hyzantian?
Who might you be?
Someone who brings good tidings. An offer you may wish to consider.
I am ruined. Who would want to offer me anything?
It is Minister Edor's wish. Will you hear me out?
One of the Saintly Seven? Then you are Hyzantian.
My master is eager for your assistance, as you are quite close to House Wolfort.
The Saintly Seven ain't so saintly, it seems. They're not set apart for holy things. They seem very earthly so far. Okay, then. Frederica makes her way to the source to see her fellow Roselle, but... Dun, 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 dun. I guess we'll find out.
Please, I'd only like to glimpse the goddess's sacred grounds for myself. It won't take but a moment.
She's Rosellan. Come on, guys.
That may be, but outsiders are not permitted into the source for such frivolities.
But it's her home.
And you are Rosellan. You ought to understand the teachings better than anyone.
Frederica.
Serenoa, forgive my impulsive behavior.
There's nothing to forgive. I too wish to learn more of the Roselle and Hyzant. Not knowing would make my decision easier, but still I feel I must.
I mean, easier is not always the right answer.
Serenoa? From House Wolfort?
The very same. Lord Serenoa Wolfort. The one who will assume control of the salt trade in short order, as House End once did. To that end, we are here today for a preliminary inspection of the grounds.
So the rumors were true.
Well, are you refusing the newest addition to the Saintly Seven entry into the source?
Of course not. Please, right this way.
Oh, I thought they would maybe hold hands as they walked in, but okay. Is that Edor?
All right, you Rosellan wretches. Time for worship.
The gruffest call to worship ever.
Minister Edor of the Saintly Seven himself will be giving the sermon today. You should be thankful. Heed his word, and your sins shall be cleansed.
Oh, is that a dead person right there? Oh.
Roselle, do you know why you are imprisoned at the source, condemned to toil? It is because your ancestors committed the most heinous of sins. Long, long ago, they schemed to seize control of the salt that the goddess bequeathed to the people of Norzelia.
So, it seems like they're basically upset that these people dare try to claim a monopoly on what they've claimed a monopoly on. Oh my goodness, okay.
They seized the source for themselves, wresting every last grain of salt from other peoples, desperate for the resource.
Oh yeah.
Using the salt they hoarded as a shield, they terrorized the land, destroying any who stood against them in their thirst for domination. Fanned by their greed, the flames of war long ravaged our land. Countless innocents lost their lives. What a terrible, arrogant people. Their cursed souls dwell within you, their progeny, to this very day.
It seems like they believe in reincarnation somehow.
Indeed. The proof is in the very color of your hair. The same red as the blood that flowed from their countless victims.
But pink is light red. It's very different.
Our people sinned against the goddess. We are a detestable blight upon Norzelia.
Oh, goddess of salt, please, forgive us our sins. Forgive us.
Do not despair, for the goddess of salt is ever merciful and kind.
Well, this feels like the definition of a cult. I mean, think about being told every day that you are terrible and you're being punished for the sins of your ancestors. I mean, that would mess with you, no matter how logical or reasonable you'd otherwise be.
She grants even the worst of sinners, even you, a chance to atone. That atonement will only come through hard work here at the source. By quenching this earth with your sweat, by giving your lives to this labor, your cursed souls will be cleansed and welcomed back to the goddess's side. Only then, when your sins have been washed away, can you hope to be reborn into a pure body and once again walk upon Norzelia. People of the Roselle, surrender your lives to the source and give your thanks to the great goddess.
O goddess of salt, for you I give myself, stained with sin as I am, to the source. Thank you for granting us the chance to atone.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is enough. Now take that gratitude and turn it toward your work.
I cannot believe what I'm seeing.
This is atonement? And the Roselle accept it as a fitting punishment? Even if that story Idor told is true, no sin warrants this kind of cruel retribution. Hyzant maintains control over Salt now. Are they then not guilty of the same crime?
You are right. But this is as the goddess of salt commands, is it not?
If we find the first manuscript and it's different. Indiana Jones time. Time to see for myself what goes on at the source. Yeah, seriously. All game they've been hinting at all this. This cask weighs nothing when compared to the weight of our sins. Ooh, my goodness. Yeah. So yes. This is what we call not good. I understand they've yet to replace Minister Sorcerer as an overseer. And so we lumber on, a beast without a head, no one to issue orders should a crisis arise. It's hardly surprising. He was one of the Saintly Seven. They'll not replace him so hastily. Rumors swirl that they might call upon the Wolford boy. I don't care if they pick my own mother so long as the position is filled. So they would install me as overseer of the source if I can find my way into the Saintly Seven. Yeah, we knew that. And no, I don't think we care. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, you can't even talk. That's terrifying. What it is over here? 1700. My convictions have been strengthened by taking money? Wait a second. Does picking up all these little items also foster like a freedom conviction, as in you're stealing and you feel fine about it? I never considered that. Oh my goodness. You can't talk either. That makes sense. You are busy working. I am sorry to bug you. Okay. Obtain movement bangle. Does that give us plus movement? Please take my mind off the terribleness of this place. Okay. Movement bangle. What do you do? Who would we give it to? Roland? Probably not. Anna is a good maybe. Eridor could use it. Then he can get into movement range easier. Yeah. And then he can sprint up to 6 spaces. That makes sense to me. Huette would also make sense so that she could get to higher ledges easier and stuff. Also, I just saw this shine, so yeah, it's okay. It's just not always obvious. Fair enough. Especially when everything is shining.
This is the only work I've ever known. It's all I'm fit for now. Many years ago, some of us tried to flee this place. None would dare dream of doing that now.
So that is a problem with being a freedom fighter. It's, if the people don't have the heart to be free, then it might not work out anyway. I can do it. I can carry the salt. How can the Holy State allow a man in his condition to continue working? Yeah, they don't care. The treatment of the Roselle here is utterly inhumane. I mean, we're from Glenbrook, and most of our people seem to be treated decently other than some nobles being corrupt. I hope they give us water today. Okay, that's a bad sign. There's a cure-all pellet here and we can't give it to this child. Game. Okay. Take more money from the salt, I'm guessing. Just pick up a pinch of salt and you can sell it. We need only follow the goddess's teachings in order to be absolved. Grounding amulets. Probably less shock damage, I guess. Grants immunity to being knocked back. Okay, that's another good idea. Probably Gila? Because we don't want her getting knocked off the edge of arenas again, like we just... It is funny we're getting these before that arena, or... We didn't get them before the arena level, we get this now, afterwards. I guess now we understand the full value of it, but it's like, okay. Thanks, game. Oh, sometimes you need to find something to laugh about. So, yes, how do we free these people? And stop Hyzant. Because clearly this is terrible. Yep. They force young and old alike to toil in deplorable conditions and have the audacity to call it atonement. They don't even tend to those who collapse from exhaustion. They treat my people worse than criminals. It breaks my heart to behold such cruelty. I can scarcely imagine what it must be like to suffer through this. I would love to see them free, but they are under constant watch. It would be nigh impossible. We mustn't look away. We have to... Yeah, we do have to learn all we can. Like, is there a way to escape with them? They do not think the Roselle human. That is the only way a nation arrives at such cruelty. Well, it's not the only way, but usually. Usually. I say we learn all we can. To save them. I suppose so. After all, so few are granted access to the source. But I fear I cannot bear to stare into the void where Hyzant's humanity should be and see my people suffer. Frederica. Yeah, this is harsh. Okay, so can we help this poor? No. Oh, okay. Yep. I did not think to bring a water flask with me. Apparently, I can't jump up here. Can I learn any way out whatsoever? Because, like, that's a lower platform, right? It doesn't look like we can. I'm gonna still attempt it briefly. Just in case. Maybe we can topple the statue onto something? That'd be cool. What do you say for yourself, God?
The tainted Roselle are fated to live out their days working in the source, in the hope they may one day atone for their sins. They are nothing like the rest of us. By the very nature of their birth, they are impure and lack integrity.
We are all born the same. Interesting. And you have the purity they lack? I see before me a man like any other. Salt has brought prosperity to the Holy State. Why rely solely on the Roselle when everyone can aid in the harvest? I mean, that's the most pragmatic thing. I see before me a man like any... Yeah, let's just bring him down a notch, I guess. I don't know.
You wouldn't even need to ask if you were one of us, but as you're not, I'll spell it out for you. Minister Idor himself ordered me to watch over the source. That alone makes me a man of integrity. I've the armor to prove it, as you can plainly see. I'll be darned if I let tainted Rosellan blood mar its pristine surface. Yet for all that polished armor, I'd wager the Rosel's cracked, salt-crusted hands are cleaner than yours. Oh, roasted. Okay. Faster, faster! There shall be no rest for the wicked. Ah, Lord Sereno of Hell's Wolfort, I presume. I'm sorry you had to lay eyes on the tainted ones, but this is where the Roselle pay their penance. So, more shinies. Register of the Roselle to the notes. Okay, maybe we can find something out about Frederica's mother through that? Anything on the statue? No. But man, yeah, they've... Let's just say human psychology can be a nasty thing. They've tried examining why normal middle-aged police officers could, you know, work for terrible governments like those in World War II Germany and stuff. And, yeah. Yeah. Let's just say it's time for us to try to do better, shall we? But yeah, I think this bugs me more than Gustadolf being a jerk, because it's like, Gustadolf isn't trying to use some higher power and the hope that a higher power would entail to enslave people. He's at least just being a jerk to other people in power, which, horrible and terrible, yes, but at least it's not convincing people they're going to die in hell for eternity kind of thing if they don't work in the salt mine. So, yeah, as a Christian, this makes me mad. So, at any rate, while true all people have some sin in their heart, it is, that's up for God to judge, thank you very much. Not for Minister Idor. Also, I'm getting stuck on these bridges. Trying to find the right orientation. Okay, this seems like the best way to maneuver around. Okay, so, I think we're done exploring. I don't think we can find anything else, unless multiple... Maybe we have to talk to people multiple times? No, doesn't seem like it. So I think we just end exploration. We should return to the encampment. And hope we found everything we could.
This is more awful than I imagined.
Will you still send any Roselle in the Wolfort domain here? Force them into a life like this?
I...
Certainly hope not.
It isn't right. It isn't just. I don't care that it would ensure our own safety.
Indeed. It would be unforgivable. What is just is constantly in flux depending on the circumstances.
Debatable.
That said, protecting people is always the right thing to do. Wouldn't you agree, Serenoa?
I feel the same as you both, but...
My apologies. I didn't mean to place all the blame on you. Still, we continue stumbling on the path before us.
Yep. That is fair. So let's stumble towards justice. And freedom.
Serenoa and his retinue return to their domain, their every step weighed down by the heavy task Hyzant has placed upon them. Elsewhere, the newly restored kingdom of Glenbrook begins to take action under Queen Cordelia's leadership. The kingdom issues a joint proclamation with Esfrost against Hyzant, halting all trade and severing diplomatic ties with the Holy State.
Yeah. And as unrest spreads across Norzelia, Serenoa must decide the future of the Rosellan villagers. Oh, okay, so yeah. I am tempted to look up a walkthrough just so that we don't give them up, but I don't think I will. I'm going to try my best. It's like...
Esfrost and Glenbrook signed an agreement denouncing Hyzant.
We'll just join them. It'll suck, but...
Word only just arrived, and it is no mere rumor. They've issued a formal proclamation.
Preposterous! Gustadolf must have forced Cordelia's hand. This is sure to make Hyzant cease salt shipments to the Consortium. All this denouncement will do is hamstring Esfrost and Glenbrook both.
Or will it, if we have a
My
mind?
brother, Gustadolf does not fight battles he cannot win. I'm certain this is part of some greater ploy.
I feel all of Norzelia stands on the precipice. But of what I cannot say.
Each nation is making its move. We too must take action to secure our position before it's too late.
By which you mean expelling the Roselle?
To protect the Wolfort domain and its people. No one would dare hold such actions against you.
Maybe not in this moment, but
Lord
in the future.
Serenoa, you must make a decision.
I saw what it is truly like at the source. The Rosellan are forced into back-breaking labor. No decent man would condemn another to such a fate.
But if we refuse the Hierophant, we will face the same dire consequences as House End. Should that happen, the Roselle would still be lost, would they not?
Okay, that is a good
Then
point.
you think it is right to sacrifice the Roselle to save Wolfort?
No one is saying it is right, but a decision must be made. We must prioritize our own survival. That much should be clear. And survive we shall, if we can secure Hyzant's aid. Unless you know of another way.
Serenoa, I beseech you, not as one with Roselle blood in her veins, but as a person, as a Wolfort. You cannot give up the Roselle to Hyzant.
I appreciate each of your arguments, but we cannot debate this forever. It is time to decide. Once more to the scales of conviction.
I mean, the arguments have merits to each side, pros and cons. But what will help you sleep at night? We need Hyzant's support if we are to reclaim Glenbrook. No man lives forever, but it comes at a price. One the Roselle under our protection must pay. Okay. I was thinking, oh, interesting, Gila. Oh. Huette's undecided. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's go see if we can... No, I don't want to commence voting. I think we've already done our exploration phase. Okay, yeah, we can't go to the town to talk to people. So, yeah, I figured Eridor would be on the side of defend Roselle, even if it affects relations. So let's talk... I kind of wonder if Roland switched because I accidentally talked to him briefly in the previous Farog conversation. So I don't want to talk to the people who are defending the Roselle, just in case that does affect things. So Gila.
What do you need?
The Roselle in that village are those who fled Hyzant and their descendants. If the Holy State asks for their people to be returned, we have little room to argue. And if we refuse, we'll be branded as heretics. But bending the knee would earn you the title of Saint, Lord Serenoa. I think it is in our best interest to obey for now. I mean, our best interest, yes. Everyone's? No. No. The Roselle are to be protected, even if it earns us Hyzant's ire. There are some places you should not bend, even if you break. So you would choose to protect the Roselle. Might I ask why? I have seen the harsh reality of the source for myself, and I could not subject my people to such cruel treatment. Yep.
Yes, I see.
The Frederica one seems like it might make more sense for Gila, though. But, I mean, that makes... we're just going to go with it. It is only natural you would want to protect your people, as your father did. Even more so now that you have seen the source with your own eyes. It might be said that earning the great power of a saint requires great sacrifice, but... I mean, it should be personal sacrifice, in theory. I fear we could stand to lose much more than that in the process. And in
I
reality.
require some time to think.
Do we focus on what we stand to gain, or the weight of what we might lose? The answer is not a simple one. And that is a good point. Often, we as human beings worry more about what we would lose than about what we would gain. Which is not always a good way to think. Gila's deep in thought. Huette, I think I will save you for last. Benedict.
We must decide.
If we defy the Holy One, everything we have done until this very moment will have been for naught. Not for naught, we learned a lot. That rhymed, by the way. House Wolford needs Hyzant's support if it is to survive. Nah. It pains me to have to say it, but the situation leaves us no choice but to surrender the Roselle. What if we give Gustadolf our people? Just as a heads up, all of our citizens, and then we go against Hyzant with his army. Just saying. Just saying. And then somehow we prevent him from figuring out Roland's true identity. Who knows? The Roselle are to be protected, even if it earns us Hyzant's ire. I thought you might be opposed. I should like to hear your thoughts, if you are open to sharing them. Okay, we need all the soldiers we can get. We've protected the Roselle for decades now, and I am certain they would join our fight as thanks. Yeah, honestly. There are indeed some among them who have been trained to protect the village.
Perhaps, but if so...
They are not many. We will need far greater numbers if we are to defend ourselves. It appears our views are at an impasse. Allow me to ask you one more thing, my lord. The political climate took an unexpected turn once Esfrost cut ties with Hyzant.
Certainly not.
How do you believe House Wolford should conduct itself going forward? Could we not use continued trade with Wolford Domain to negotiate? I think a conflict with Esfrost is unavoidable, and the Holy State will need our might if they are to stand a chance against them. I would use that leverage to reach a compromise. I see. So you would use our might as a bargaining chip to secure the Roselle's safety.
However...
But I must remind you that in Hyzant, the goddess is absolute, as is the word of the Hierophant. We cannot be certain if this matter is even up for debate.
I am decided.
In any case, tensions between the two nations are rising, and fast. We must be prudent in our actions. Benedict is deep in thought. Okay, Anna.
Lord Serenoa.
House Wolford has overcome countless hardships to get where we are now. If we refuse to relinquish the Roselle, we will meet the same fate as House End. Our first priority must be our own survival. If we do not survive, we can do nothing for the Roselle. I mean, that is a decent point, but would we do anything if we just sat back? I doubt it. I doubt it. You believe we must protect the Roselle. Why? Even if I was named a saint, we are still unbelievers. As such, I doubt they would grant me much power. Very true. Hyzant can no longer trade with Esfrost and Glenbrook. As their only remaining partner, we have grounds for negotiation. Also true. The people would never forgive us for doing something so heartless. We're going with the locked one, because I think that's also just true and pragmatic.
Even so...
We need Hyzant's support, even if only in name. That would undoubtedly be a powerful deterrent against the duchy. If we refuse, we will be on our own, and would have no chance of surviving against the other nations.
If so...
Do you harbor any doubts about the Holy State, my lord? Yes. The Holy State acts in accordance with the Hierophant's wishes. I fear giving in to one request would only be... Yeah. It is not the Holy State, but the Hierophant that I fear. Their orders are cold and callous, as if they have no heart. Aye, they wish to have the Roselle back so badly that they would use us to that end. I cannot help but wonder why. All of these are good points. Beginning of more. No heart. Yeah. Though, honestly, it could just be Idor pretending there's a Hierophant, as he is the only one that can hear the Hierophant's divine words, right? Cannot help but wonder why.
Yes?
I had my doubts as well. I surmise it might be a matter of pride for the Hierophant. But the Roselle escaped 30 years ago. I feel it should matter little to them now. And yet, they would make me saint in exchange for their return. How could those two acts possibly be equal in their eyes? I do not know, but if they say they are the goddess's teachings, they must be accepted as such.
I must hear what the others think.
I understand your concerns, my lord. I have my own doubts, truth be told. Indifferent to my blame. Okay. And then Hewitt. But yeah, let's just say I think we would basically be doing their dirty work for them, and then they'd kill us immediately after. But, you know, just an opinion. The Roselle are people of the Wolford Domain, but if we defy the Hierophant, we'll face the same fate as House End. I am at a loss. The Roselle are to be protected!
And?
Lord Serenoa, so you think we should protect the Roselle? I mean, everything we've done has been trying to protect our people. From the aggression of Ezfrost hurting more of our people. We did blow up homes and stuff, and I'm surprised we didn't rebuild those faster, but I mean, to be fair, we were trying to prepare to be attacked multiple times. Oh yeah. If Ezfrost promises not to hurt our people, you know what? I'm leaning towards Ezfrost at the moment. Perhaps we can get the Holy State to promise not to attack the Rosellan village, as my father once did. The Holy State needs our power if they are to fight the Duchy. We can use that to our advantage. This is our first bargain with the Hierophant. It may play to our advantage to deny their request this once. Also an interesting point. Huh. All of these make sense. I'm going to go with the negotiation one.
Truly?
I don't think that's the best for Huette, but I don't know for sure. I must admit, I was also caught off guard by the Archduke's decree. It could be a harbinger of war indeed. And if we are on the brink of battle, the strength and expertise of House Wolfort would prove invaluable to the Holy State. We may be able to leverage that to gain some sort of concession from them regarding the Roselle.
I don't know what to do.
Personally, I agree with you. I don't want to surrender the Roselle, but are there any other reasons you want to protect them? I must defend my people. I would hate to be the reason the people's faith in our house is shaken, especially after all my father has done to build up its repute. They are Frederica's people. I cannot simply look the other way. I think Huette might like this one the best, but she serves a lord, even if in secret. I'm gonna go with this one. Appeal to the heart. I can tell that you mean that in earnest, but there are others who might think differently. You mean they may take it as hypocrisy?
I wonder about that.
I'm afraid so, as long as you do not try to free the Roselle at the source. I see. I suppose there's no denying that.
I don't know what to do.
The more I think about this, the more my heart aches. Fair? Appears indifferent. No! Okay, so I thought she would be more like Eridor, where personal stuff made more sense to her, but okay, nope. All right.
I feel I may have failed. It sealed to throw the ring into the fire. Anyway.
Oh, Lord of the Rings cannot save me now. Hello, friends. We must, in persuasion phase, commence voting. In case there's some weird thing, we're just talking to people. Throws them off.
All right. It is time to cast our votes. We face a difficult decision. Do we surrender the Roselle living in our domain to Hyzant, or do we defy their orders? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
Okay. How will this go?
On this, I cannot be swayed.
My thoughts remain unchanged. This is what is best for House Wolford. See, this is the thing. Majorities can be wrong, guys. Majorities can be wrong. Oh!
I agree wholeheartedly.
I will follow the path of your convictions, my lord. Oh, did I change her mind?
I cannot agree to this.
Unfortunately, I cannot bring myself to agree with you this time, my lord.
I have faith in you.
There is no other way forward for us. Okay. So I think I still lost.
Scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
Okay. Defend the Roselle! Okay, so I failed to change the indifferent person. No. I changed Huette and Gila. So I think going for the locked options is more powerful in general. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so we failed on Benedict and Anna. Which, I mean, yeah, okay. That makes sense because they were the ones more here, other than Gila. Okay.
The way forward is decided. The Roselle are our people. We must shelter them, even if it earns us Hyzant's ire.
Yes. Convictions have been strengthened.
Even if it earns us Hyzant's ire. We didn't start the fight.
I suspected it would come to this. We have chosen our path, and now we must see it through. we will refuse to hand over the Roselle to Hyzant.
Benedict, I get you're just trying to be a bro for the house. Now it's time to think of the best path forward defending the Roselle. Save our game. So, let's keep going. Slot 7. There we are. Impressions under the sun completed.
Serenoa and company move to protect the Rosellan settlement. Noble as it may be, such an act of defiance toward Hyzant risks inviting the destruction of House Wolfort itself.
Yep. Chapter 11, Part 2. To the bitter end. Of House End? Huh. No, anyway.
Hyzant will no doubt wish to ask questions of us. We can draw out the negotiations and buy some time.
Time enough to find a way to break them.
We have to inform the Roselle of the situation here.
I'll send an envoy and have them sheltered in Castle Wolfort.
Uh-oh.
Lord Serenoa, come at once. An army marches on the Rosellan village.
You can't be serious.
Whose banner do they fly?
We know not.
And it matters not. We ride to their aid. Prepare for battle.
Here we go, team. Huh. So somebody... Oh, it's Rufus. Why, Rufus? Why?
Why? Why attack our village?
Hierophant's orders were to return you to Hyzant.
Ha! Over my dead body!
I wonder if we get some allied units that aren't our own in this one. With some pink hair. Alright, Rosellan Village. Oh, there's some stuff. So I think we will call this an episode, dear viewer. Leave a like if you have enjoyed Triangle Strategy. Subscribe for more gaming videos. Comment below on what you think is going to go down. And whether or not, like, Frederica's mom is somehow hiding as the Hierophant or something. I don't know. That just seems like the most crazy twist to me, so it's like, huh, that would be super dramatic and interesting. But my guess is Adore is just pretending there's even a Hierophant. At any rate, I hope you, dear viewer, have a great day.